What's up? Pull the Tights
Sometimes
podcaster.
I think's an on train.
If you're gonna sing, you're gonna sing in the goddamn microphone.
Every step I get to, I'm clocking this game. Everyone's a winner, making our fame.
Yeah, the spotlight's on you. Continue.
Come around. I forget the words.
You're terrible. You just need to go shoot yourself in the goddamn face. Welcome to the Pull the Tights podcast. I am Matt Tornado. To my direct right is Johnny Danger. We are the greatest tag team since
Men on a Mission.
Men on a Mission. You're damn right we are.
Mabel.
Hey, Mabel.
Oh, we are the greatest tag team.
Mom.
Men on a Mission. Also known as the Impersonation King, Johnny Danger. To my direct left is Jacob Nathaniel Green, also known as the Green Dog. He is the man, the myth, the legend, the man who will take his pants off at the drop of a dime, the Green Dog. What's happening, Green Dog?
Not much. What's going on, boys?
It's quite the intro you got there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been sitting on that for like 4 hours.
Damn.
All true, all true.
No wonder. I get now why we're doing podcast number 2 tonight.
And we're done.
Making me go double time tonight. First night on the job. Mercy.
We might
MOT.
we might go 3 in the night. I don't know. It's still early.
Third.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
We're watching Halloween Havoc 96.
This is Process Podcast. This is episode 3.
Who gave this guy a microphone? Jesus Christ. Pull your shit together. We just got out of watching the Cubs get their ass beat by the Cardinals 3-0 in the opening night of baseball.
Sync it up.
Sync it up.
Yeah,
What
I'm
happened?
gonna tell you guys a few things you may not know.
I would love
about
to hear that.
sports
Yeah.
here, right?
Educate me.
John Lester.
In order to win a game,
Miguel Cabrera.
you have to score.
That's a good point.
You have to score at least one
It's kind of like life.
or point, yes. And the Cubs were not able to do that tonight. So we really never gave ourselves a chance. But hey, one game, we'll come back.
That's
It's all
Coach,
right.
that's Coach Green on the microphone.
Oh, wait, you gotta score like getting chicks.
What's that?
You said in life you gotta score. Like getting chicks.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Coming them. Coming them.
You gotta fuck him.
Fuck them and then coming them and then
Fuck him right in the pussy.
make them squirt babies out.
Is that how that happens?
I think
I
they
would-
squirt them out pretty easy.
Yeah. But that's not
They
something for
squirt
our
them?
younger listeners. I wouldn't
We
say
have a
that.
lot of younger listeners.
And they're
Yeah,
fucking, yeah.
We're huge in Germany.
But on the other hand, the ladies that are looking to squirt one out, you know how to get a hold of me. So
That's his thing. You know how to get a hold of him. No one knows how to get a hold of him at
Get a
all.
hold of him.
It's just generally just dial numbers on your phone. It's just gonna go right to Jacob Nathaniel Green. Jesus Christ.
But all you kids in your blanket forts,
right,
go fuck
yeah.
yourselves.
Don't do that. I'm trying to be an advocate for kids. Now, don't do that, children.
You're trying to be an advocate for kids.
Yeah, Jay Green here. 4 kids still. I'm still for kids.
Yes.
Oh shit. Rey Mysterio Jr. is kicking off Halloween Havoc 1996.
Against Hoovy.
No, against Dean Malenko.
Should be Disco Inferno.
Dean Malenko's solid, but Rey Mysterio Jr. just recently murdered a man in the ring, did he not? Is that not accurate?
He was a part of his death. I'll say that.
He was there.
I don't know if I can legally say anymore.
As long as
He was present when it happened.
As long as we
That much.
preface it by saying allegedly,
Right.
Allegedly.
we should be able to say whatever we want about people.
Yeah, he was in a ring with a guy, some fucked up shit happened, and then, like, he died. And then Ray pinned him.
Going through some Hall of Fame speeches recently.
Why would you not?
Right. And I was kind of shocked to see they give Eddie Guerrero the nod the year after he dies, which rightfully so, I would say. But they put 4 guys to put him into the to induct him in.
Uh-huh.
Rey Mysterio one, Chavo Guerrero the other,
Oh, yeah.
Dean Malenko another, and this is one that I think they have to look back on and kind of bat an eye at. Who was the 4th guy?
The 4th guy to induct, Eddie Guerrero.
Yes.
Psychosis.
I'm actually surprised they kept it on the WWE network and didn't cut it out.
Why was 4 separate people inducting him?
I don't know. I guess he had a lot of friends. Is all I can. It was Chris Benoit.
Oh, Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit on there. Inducting
after he murdered everyone?
No, well, he murdered.
They got a hologram of Chris Benoit.
It was prior to that, I believe. But they can still cut him out, can't they? I mean,
yeah.
The WWE has editing equipment, don't they?
From what I understand, yes. Yes, allegedly. Yes, they have editing equipment.
I mean, I was shocked just to see him up there. I mean, and it was odd to hear his speech.
I don't want to get sued claiming they do have editing equipment. And they don't.
Knowing what I knew now, hearing his speech was like, what? You know, he values life so much.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, he murders his wife and child, then takes his own life. He's a big advocate for life.
Yeah, it was a tough one for me to watch.
Yeah, really I can imagine.
I didn't really get it. When he came out, I kind of thought, oh, where are they going with this? You know, but
where are they going with this Hall of Fame induction?
Right. Yeah.
That's clearly going to be his speech. I don't understand what's happening.
But these two were on there. Rey Mysterio and Dean Malenko did a good job.
Do you guys remember Psychosis?
I do.
I can't remember Psychosis.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Or are you just fucking with me?
No, Psychosis was a big part of the luchador.
Like the horns and shit?
And even without his horns, yeah.
That's all I remember him as.
Yeah, well, you can go fuck yourself.
Horns and shit. But he was a solid wrestler.
He was best with his horns.
So is Juventud Guerrero. What happened to him when they bought out the WWE bought out WCW?
He wrestled with Psychosis and Super Crazy in WWE as the Mexicools.
Of course, that was what their name was.
And they came out with like driving a tractor. Like it was very racist. It was super fucking racist, and I think that was part of the joke.
Was there a Home Depot in the background?
Because it was their deal. They literally like came out riding a lawnmower and like being super overly like Mexican like stereotype fucking guys. Like, hey, like wearing fucking like Conan used to dress basically.
Whoever was in charge of the WWE at the time wasn't big into cruiserweights, I feel like. You know, he didn't want to bring that cruiserweight division back over. So he was having those guys
and they tried to.
Huge guys.
They half-assed tried to because they did have they introduced the WWE Cruiserweight title that fucking the Hurricane Helms won, who was super over, who had like a feud with the Rock for a while that people were into. Shane Helms.
Yes, I remember.
Shane Helms or Greg Helms, whatever. He was Hurricane Helms, and he was
wrestling podcast.
I didn't watch during that time period either, but from what I have gathered, he was very over during that time period. He was even feuding with the Rock at one point. But because he was this little piece of shit, ridiculous superhero character.
So where's he at now?
I think he's basically wrestling the indies, doing what he's fucking always done.
Yeah, he's out. Man.
He's only he's literally just now like maybe 40 is how old he is. They were young when those motherfuckers came in. Him, who was it? Well, his whole 3-count crew, but Shannon Moore. You guys don't know these motherfuckers. But Shannon Moore, Evan Courageous.
I've heard of Evan Courageous, yes.
They all came in at the same time.
Evan Moore and...
Well, they're part of 3-count from WCW.
If you have to put courageous in your last name, I feel like you absolutely are not courageous. That's a...
You guys don't remember 3-count from WCW?
No one remembers 3-count from
WCW. Oh my god. What was their song? They had a song.
Was it like...
They were like Backstreet Boys. Phoebe.
I want a 3-count way.
No, it was like
Tell me why I want a 3-count.
That was better than their song. They had 2 songs.
I just wrote that.
But I don't.
I can't play it on
when
podcast.
the WCW joined up with WWE, who was running the creative? Was it John Laurinaitis?
I don't know.
Or did Vince Russo get back in there at the time?
No, I think Vince Russo was pretty much.
Russo was.
Then it had to be probably either John Laurinaitis or was Brother Love's real name.
I hate Brother Love.
Well, it was one of them two doing it, I'm sure, at the time. And I think at the time they just wanted those little guys to go up against bigger guys, so those bigger guys could just throw them around the ring.
Who's this?
3 count. Oh, I can't get you out of my heart.
Yeah.
This is what wrestlers came out to in WCW in like 2000,
It's like you and a few buddies just got together and put it together. Listen, they came out with it so seriously, guys.
And Shane and Shane Helms. Shane Helms is a bad motherfucker. He's a great wrestler. No, he is. And he was in this group.
Yeah.
He's the only one from the group that did anything after after this.
That was the worst entrance song I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that was brutal.
But I bet you can't get him out of your heart.
That's one thing I was watching, pay-per-views earlier, and I always thought, they got these guys that are already in the ring before the other guys come that never had entrance music.
Jobbers.
And,
Yeah.
well, not even jobbers. This was at WrestleMania. Like, Warlord never had an entrance song. He's just standing in the ring prior to the match as so-and-so comes down to music. And
Where are you going here, Green Dog?
I don't remember. Did Andre the Giant have an entrance?
No, we absolutely did not.
Right.
No, he just walked out.
Yeah.
That's why he was
thinking,
gangster.
Who is the best wrestler who never had entrance music? It's obviously Andre the Giant.
You
right?
think so?
It has to be, I would think. I mean, who else could you think of that didn't?
Well, to define greatest wrestler.
At some point, everyone has entrance music. Everyone
Andre
does.
didn't, ever.
Andre didn't, I guess, technically when he wrestled. Didn't have entrance music.
So what do you consider entrance?
Yeah, he just walks around
entrance
this
music did he
town
have?
or what?
The song they played at his funeral?
No, in video games.
Spirit in the
He
Sky.
comes out to a very specific song in video games. I'm sure he came out to a song at some point at some wrestling event.
What did he come out in video games?
I don't know. It was just like boom, 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 boom. It was just some bullshit.
I want to
they
get the
made
whole
up.
thing that you made that.
But I don't think anybody else.
Whatever.
Yeah, anybody else that didn't come out to music was before they started coming out to music.
No, I think I watched 3 consecutive.
I will Google. I will YouTube.
I watched 3 consecutive WrestleManias where Hercules did not come out.
I have Hercules. I have Hercules theme song saved on my desktop.
I would love to hear the Hercules.
Okay, right here it is, because I can easily play it. It's literally, look, Kirk, look. Look, it's on my desktop right there. I just double-clicked
Let's hear it.
This is Hercules theme music.
I mean, it sounds legit.
Maybe they just didn't waste time for it.
What?
I had a whole time frame a year or so ago where I was just sitting around. I didn't have a job at the time. Okay, it wasn't a year ago. It was like 2.5 years ago. So I was sitting around, basically recording the theme songs to every 80s wrestler I could have possibly think of, and recording them. I did.
He did not come out to this when he fought the Earthquake at WrestleMania 7.
If you watch it on WWE Network, they probably don't have it because they change everyone's entrance musics on WWE Network.
No, I'm
You
saying
watch-
he's already standing in the ring, and they say, they're already in the ring,
Right.
Hercules now coming down.
If you watch Jericho come out in any match, you could watch his earliest WCW match. He comes out to break the walls down. He probably comes out to that in ECW in his ECW matches. It pisses me off that they do that. They try to alter history.
Good long match right here, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a cruiserweight division match. I mean, they're going to put on a good match. It's what they. That is why this division was created in WCW, because it's a great wrestling match. This whole division is just great wrestling. It's not about your, promos or whatever. It's always about the wrestling. And that's why WCW kind of pulled away from WWF or WWE there for a while, is because they had this division. And I know I kind of switched over to watch.
No. This was a fucking accident that happened. They had no idea that this good shit was going on. The only reason they pulled ahead was from NWO. Yeah, I'm going to. Because the only reason they pulled ahead was from their NWO angle. That was it. This was just good shit that happened to happen because nobody was paying attention to the cruiserweights. Well, cruiserweights just went out there and just tore the fucking house down.
Well, right, but I mean, I'm not saying it was planned, but it happened.
But that's what Jericho always says is how he got made. Nobody paid attention. Nobody cared what he was doing, so he just started doing the most ridiculous.
Grabbed the mic and started.
Yeah,
they gave me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Armbar.
Exactly.
You know, when you just read off, his
that's what
3,000 wrestling moves.
Oh, yeah. I have 1,001 moves.
That's what Vince is talking about when he tells him to grab the brass ring, to take a chance and do something. That's what he's fucking talking about.
Well, the Malenko-Jericho feud was huge. That's what kind of got me into WCW was that feud. And that's why I still have to this day the Jerichoholics Anonymous fucking shirt. Because of the feud in the Cruiserweight division. And you can say that it would kind of just happen on accident or whatever, and it may have, but you can't argue the fact that it brought viewers over to WCW that were watching WWF.
For me, I think it kind of depended on what it was going up against in WWF, because I would flip back and forth. And when the NWO was on WCW, I was watching that. If it was a different match, I'd flip back over to the WWE and whatever it would be. If it was something decent,
Ahmed Johnson against Farouk.
Yeah, I would stick to it. But if it was something stupid, I'd flip back. I was going back and forth based on what was on at the current time.
Well, right, but I mean, the Malenko-Jericho feud was fucking great.
Yeah, I agree. They're the best wrestlers out there.
It wasn't even that. Jericho, just his mic skills were just fantastic. Stinko Malenko, I have a 100 and... You were the man of 100 holes, or 1,000 holes, that was his shtick was. And his shtick back was, I'm the man of 1,001 holds.
1,004, he had
1,004 holds, 4 more holds. And then he came to the ring and then named all of them off. And then when he was naming them, he named armbar like 5 times. As part of his 1,004 holds.
My favorite hold on that list, the moss-covered 3-handled family credenza.
The next one, armbar. Didn't he say like in an interview that like they went to commercial during when he was doing that, and he just fired the crowd up, and they came back, and his first initial response was, armbar.
Yeah, say they were in Chicago or somewhere, and then during the commercial break, because he knew when they went to a commercial, so he wasn't on TV anymore, so he was just like, the Bears suck! The Cubs can fucking blow me! The Bulls fucking suck! Jordan's a hack! Like, he was just saying shit like that, and they come back to break, they're like, alright, we're on 3, 2, 1. He comes back and he's like, armbar! And the crowd's just fucking, boo! Just fucking on his ass. No one does that shit like that.
I know, Jericho is the shit, man.
Jericho gave a fuck.
Yeah.
And shit was different back then, but Jericho also gave a fuck.
Right.
And was very legit. Is that one of my favorite words. And a lot of people now today are just like, well, I fucking went to the school. I finished their program. Where's my title? I deserve a title. They don't give up. They don't put in the fucking time and effort.
No, I agree. And we talked about this briefly before. That Jericho and the WWF, I don't like. I don't like that Jericho. The Jericho in WCW was just raw, original shit that was going over. And then he went to WWF, and it's just like, you're going to do what I want to do now. I'm Vince McMahon,
That's exactly how it is. That's why I take that into consideration when I think about it, because he was still sort of Jericho while in WWE, with that, knowing that that's how that shit is. A lot of people go there, you're lucky he didn't go there and he was fucking Evan fucking, Destroyer.
Right.
He's a fucking plumber now. Like, completely change him over. He was still Chris Jericho. The only thing they changed it to Walls of Jericho.
Right, but he wasn't the same guy. It should have been the
salad shooter.
He wasn't the same guy, though, in WWF.
See, I mean, he was to an extent. I think he was. He just didn't have free reign to do whatever absurd shit he wanted to do in WCW because they didn't give a fuck or even know that he was talking.
Well, and at that point, he cared about losing his job.
Yeah.
Before, he didn't give a shit about what happened to him because he wasn't anybody.
But
Now he's somebody. He cares about what the effects of what he says, what the effects are that happened to him. Before, he didn't care what happened.
Well, plus you got to remember, he's not going out there just saying shit. He's going out there saying shit that's going through people. Because this isn't WCW. He's saying shit in WWF. They're kind of like getting an idea as to what the fuck you're going to be doing out there. WCW didn't give a fuck or know what the fuck is going on. But they were just like, yeah, go out there. You got 15 minutes.
And that very well, all these things can very well be the case. My point about it is I like Jericho more when he had no filter. He was just going out and doing whatever the fuck he wanted.
Oh, well, yeah.
He was just great, man. He's fucking gold. Like the Spinal Tap moments, he doesn't know where the ring is. You know, he's going out these random doors with his security guards that are just overweight and clearly cannot fight anyone. But yeah, that's his bodyguards, you know.
That's why I like J&J Security today. They're security team. They're a fucking security team.
Yeah, but it's
I
not.
love it.
But it's not.
They make me feel secure. That's for sure. That's no doubt about it.
But Jericho's security guards had belly shirts on, and they were clearly way overweight and not even remotely in shape, missing teeth. You know, going through random doors thinking, this is clearly the way to the ring, and it's not.
Yeah, and believe me, nobody in WCW had any idea that he was even doing that. And they had no idea what the fuck was happening.
And that might well very well be the case. And then he's just pointing at a security guard team saying, it's your fault that I'm getting this wrong, you know?
Yeah.
That's why Jericho was so brilliant in WCW. And then he
was writing his own shit.
Right. It's a lot easier. When you don't give a shit about your job, it's a lot easier to do whatever you want.
Well, I think he gave a shit.
I don't think he really did because he felt
I think he did. That's why he did that.
It was all NWO. And he was getting put on the back burner.
That's why I think that's why he did what he did because he knew that was good shit.
Right. No, he knew it was good, but at the same time, whatever happened to him. You know, because he was not the top bill anyways.
It was gold, man.
No, it was great. No doubt about it.
I kind of got out of WCW there for a while because it just became repetitive shit when like there's 15 people in NWO. The only reason I would
You didn't like the Goldberg spear every week? I mean, come on.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, the Goldberg
better than the Edge spear.
And then suplex the guy. He had 2 solid moves.
But it got out of hand. It was like, there's 15 members in NWO. The only reason I even tuned into WCW was to see Jericho. That was the only reason. And then Jericho obviously went to WWF, but, I mean, it was to a point where I felt like Jericho was WCW. I didn't care about the NWO there for a while. Maybe you guys did. I don't know. And I'm sure a lot of people, other people, cared about the Wolfpack.
I didn't even watch wrestling when NWO was popular. I watched it when they were like sort of a joke. I started watching like late '98, early '99.
They were never a joke.
They became a joke when
right when Stone Cold and Vince McMahon started doing their shit is when I started watching wrestling again.
Yeah. Well, that was
by just coincidence.
Then Wolfpack and the Sting, Conan, and Nash, they kind of branched off. Yeah, it became a joke, but the only reason that I even watched WCW was because of Jericho. And then Jericho went to the WWF, and I thought, all right, finally, he's going to be, you know, respected as a wrestler and, you know, as a, I don't know. Yeah, I guess a wrestler as a whole, you know. When I think of wrestler, I think of, yes, you have great in-ring ability, but you're also able to, you know, carry it outside of the ring where you're giving great interviews, great promos. You aren't just going out there and having great matches. And that's why I never liked Bret the Hitman Hart, because he never gave great promos. He never gave great interviews. It was just great matches, you know.
Well, someone could argue that Bret Hart had some decent promos when he was a heel. When he was a heel, he was kind of a good heel. Because he was just, fuck you, America. And because he was very sort of earnest about it, because he's Bret Hart and he, like, thinks everything's real.
Yeah, that's
He thinks
true.
he's legitimately Bret the Hitman Hart, and he's a superhero.
At the time, I thought he was awful. But looking back on it, now.
At the time, we're like,
some of the stuff he did was all right, but I had no interest in that at the time. That was my big turn to the NWO and WCW. I had no interest in the Bret Hart, British Bulldog, Owen Hart faction versus whoever they were going against at the time. I had no interest in that. I didn't care.
Probably because who they were going against was the fucking Patriot.
He was one of them
For
in there.
fuck's
that's
sake.
For sure. But, and Shawn Michaels was so wishy-washy at the time. I mean, it was just it was a bad time for the WWE. But I think Bret Hart got him through that. Was the guy that kept him in business at that time, probably.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, there's something to be said for that, too, even though, I mean, it wasn't
Right, but he was
great.
never like...
But it wasn't great.
That's when WWF kind of hit a lull there, and then Turner kind of jumped in and hit the ground running with WCW, and that's when the Monday Night Wars kind of gave way because Bret Hart couldn't carry WWF. He couldn't carry that franchise. I mean, to me, it's pretty obvious. As soon as Bret Hart became the face of the company, that company took a dip down.
I don't think it was when Bret Hart took over they took a dip down. They were slowly taking a dip down ever since the Hogan in the 80s, all that was sort of over.
I think one of the problems...
wrestling in general slowly just went down.
One of the problems with Bret was, you had Bret's side of the locker room, I think, and then you had Shawn's side of the locker room. And the people who were on Shawn's side didn't want to work with Bret. So you get into, I think that politics played a bigger part than anyone will ever know. Those guys didn't want to work together. They didn't want to put each other over. They didn't want to have good matches with them. They would rather the other guy look bad than have a good match with one of those guys. I mean, I think it was, those
DDP.
politics killed that, I think, is what... Because you're telling me Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels couldn't have come and had great matches. I mean, better matches. They had a couple really good ones. But, you're telling me Diesel couldn't have had a good match with Bret Hart? A young Triple H couldn't have had a good match with Bret Hart?
No, I think they could have, but I don't think...
They didn't want to.
I think, that's probably true, but...
Those guys couldn't have good matches with British Bulldog? They could have. They didn't want to. They didn't want to put those guys over.
Why would
so now you're stuck in a position where you're the only guy that's willing to put over one of those guys is the Patriot. So that's the guy Bob Backlund. Those are the guys you got to put up there because they're the only guys willing to work with those guys.
Well, that's on Vince McMahon. He needs to get his shit together and make his motherfuckers listen to him. I don't think wrestling was going downhill. I think wrestling just kind of was what it was for a while, and then NWO just fucking stepped out of the blue and made it cool as fuck. I think people in, watching Raw and shit, they thought Razor Ramon was kind of cool, and Diesel was kind of cool, and all that shit was kind of cool. But the NWO just made shit just seem like really fucking cool.
I think that's kind of accurate, but I also think that Stone Cold brought a lot of people back to wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get
I think before Stone Cold, NWO even brought that whole feeling to everything.
Well, I think for the longest time, people wanted to see WCW go against WWF. And when those guys went over, it kind of gave you that feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I never watched WCW a day in my life until they put Scott Hall and Kevin Nash on there. And then I started watching it, and at the beginning it was kind of like, is this really happening? Or are these guys signed with WCW? Or what's going on? But that's why I wanted to watch it. And then they just kept signing guy after guy from the old WWF. And then you start watching it. And like you said, then you start watching it. Then you start seeing Jericho and some other guys that you like that you would have never seen prior to that. And then that's how they got over. I think I think
WCW they showed and then sort of showed WWF the blueprint, and WWF just executed it very well because WCW showed them the blueprint of being cool and being sort of risque and real or whatever. But WCW couldn't be risque and real because this is like a family-owned company. That's why NWO never did anything really sketchy or sort of like whoa, Vince McMahon went out there and showed tits, fucking sprayed people with beer, had Vince, or what's his name, flipping everybody off.
Stone Cold went to Brian Pillman's house and Pillman pulled a gun on him.
A goddamn gun on him, yeah.
A gun on him, had him at gunpoint, and they cut the cameras.
Stone Cold and Vince McMahon, they went over, they took it to the level as NWO couldn't go to.
No, I listen, I totally agree with what you guys are saying, but my point is, that
We're an hour and a half in.
that Bret the Hitman Hart was never a guy that could carry a company. That's my whole point from the beginning of this conversation. We're going to take a quick break. Giant D's got to go douche his pussy in the bathroom. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the Tights Podcasters.
This is when Big Show is his best. As the Giant. I love the Big Show as the Giant.
No one cares what you love.
He looks fantastic.
No one can hear you because your microphone isn't up to your goddamn mouth.
He's a giant dude, but he's not like big and fat. The Big Show is the Giant.
Welcome.
Look at Ted DiBiase as his mouthpiece. Look at that.
Welcome back to the show. John Danger's a real piece of shit. I am Matthew Tornado. To my right is Jonathan Danger. To my left is Jacob Nathaniel Green, also known as the Green Dog. Not Green Dog.
Jacob Nathaniel Green Dog the first.
Green Dog.
The OG.
The one and only.
There's been many before you and many since.
Self-proclaimed. No real one.
But there's only one. And he is sitting here talking to Thunder and Lightning tonight live.
Thunder and Lightning.
With the Jacuz brothers.
Yep.
Now, we've been watching Halloween Havoc 1996 this evening. We got the Big Show coming out to the ring to wrestle in some bullshit match. I have no idea what he's even fighting in at this point. But you need to get your shit together, Danger.
I've got it together.
You look like you got it together.
With duct tape.
Anyway.
It's a title match.
It is a title match. It looks like the U.S. title that the Giants got in his hands. As I'm sure every one of our listeners have done, they've synced this entire pay-per-view up to our live podcast.
Right, but you should probably fast forward it quite a bit because we were off.
I mean,
for some technical difficulties.
No, they've synced it up. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, there's generally about 10 to 15 minutes you're going to probably need to figure out.
Right, you're probably still seeing the Dean Malenko interview or Macho Man snapping
Yeah,
it.
spoiler alert, he's got 1,000 holds.
1,004 holds. It's Chris Jericho. God, Chris Jericho was brilliant back then. Not to beat a dead horse, but where are the wrestlers that used to be like that? They're no longer around. There are people like Seth Rollins. So I think you love Seth Rollins.
I fucking love Seth Rollins.
He's
so
jerk
good.
off to his nude pictures that he put on Twitter every night.
A couple times. But he's good. He's really good.
I'm pretty neutral on him, yet I haven't seen those pictures yet. So
JD has seen them.
I could be swayed.
Yeah.
He's got an average size penis.
Yeah, very mediocre penis.
It's not like huge. It's not small. Just like right in the middle. It's right in the sweet spot.
Makes you feel good about yourself.
Maybe you. Look at this guy, the big dick over here.
It's tough to do that with me. I have the genitalia of a 3-year-old child. But.
Hasn't grown since 3 years old for the Green Dog.
Well, it happens.
I haven't had any complaints out of it, though.
Yeah, Johnny Danger's got a goddamn cock the size of New Mexico.
No. Ask any woman I've ever even thought about being with. She'll tell you, I do not. Do not have one of those.
I would love a list of these women so I can call them and ask them if your penis. Are we talking erect or not erect?
Well, erect, of course.
Yeah, not erect. It's just like it literally is a 3-year-old
right.
child's penis.
And it's hit and miss. Sometimes
Only
it
with
looks
giant sagging balls.
Sometimes it looks big. Other times
I have a lot of
it looks
lumps.
like a scared turtle.
Got a lot of lumps.
You know, I mean, I haven't had any complaints, but I haven't had a lot of return visitors either. So, yeah, you just have to take
Not
the
a
good
lot of
with the-
repeaters.
You got to take the
Over
good with
here.
the bad.
It's because you're picky.
Yeah, listen. 300 pounds? I don't care. I'm going to fuck you.
No. No 300 pounds.
Well,
Sorry, did I cross the line?
Yeah. That's just being ridiculous.
Well, as news that I broke originally on podcast number 5.
I'm not sure what this
Four.
news is.
4. I drink a lot.
No.
So it's tough for me to keep an erection unless the woman is at least entertaining. I mean,
Like spin on your penis like a midget?
yeah. I mean, she had no problems keeping it up for
I
me.
bet that midget did midget things to your
Did
dick.
that midget seriously spin on your dick? Like spin on it like a goddamn, I don't know, dreidel? That's what dreidels do, right? They spin. You're a
No,
Nazi.
I don't.
Mein Kampf.
I mean, I think I threw her up in the air and she spun around and landed the opposite
I feel
way.
like that's not even remotely
She
a
wasn't-
truthful
Sure, a
story.
pizza doter.
Wikipedia that, listeners, because I don't believe that's true.
She wasn't spitting on my penis like while it was still inserted in her.
But I feel like you said that on a previous podcast.
Well, hey, I say a lot of things.
Can't make any promises
You
that
gotta-
are 100% accurate.
But I mean, I've been at the point where, I mean, I've had to fake an orgasm. All
Kramer?
because of my drinking.
I feel like I've done that too.
I mean,
Wait, walk me through this fake orgasm.
well, at the risk that she's listening, I'll use a
There's a very large risk that
yeah,
she is listening.
I'll use a nickname that most people don't know her by, but we'll call her Heavy T.
Everyone knows her by that name.
Heavy T. Tell me you're not talking about.
Hey, we don't need to say any real.
No, I
names
know,
here,
but
No, I know.
who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Just kind of mouth it to me. And
I'm
then I'll
not
blurt it
mouthing it to
out. No, I won't blurt it out. Heavy T.
Everyone knows
There's
her by
only one
that
person.
name.
Did she ever work at Marsh?
I'm not sure where. I'm
not sure of her
job
resume.
history. Yeah, she's a 6'1"
Name her-
ball full of fun though.
Okay. I think I do know who you're talking
That's on
about.
her resume. I read it.
Dude, what
It's
do you...
under- under
well, okay,
special
no, what about
skills.
Heavy T?
Well, there
I
was
kind
a,
of dig Heavy T.
there was a
What's wrong with
there
her?
was a glorious night for her one time years ago.
I
We're
was
talking
there.
about the same Heavy T. I'm totally into Heavy T.
I think there's only one.
Either
Heavy T,
current,
so-
even currently, I'm into Heavy
Well,
T.
beautiful. I don't.
Are we talking about the same person?
Who is the person?
I don't know.
You don't know who you're talking
We're
about?
well, we're just going to speak with our eyes because this is a podcast.
Anyhow,
Do you
are we
speak English, American
I'm
Sign
spelling
Language?
it in cursive with my eyeballs.
Maybe I
so get your
should.
shit together.
Maybe I shouldn't have coined her nickname here.
Heavy T.
I did years ago though.
Back in the day, I think we used to refer to her possibly as. I can't say because that would give away part of her name. Was she friends with Erica Rich way back when?
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about the exact same.
Are you
person.
fucking her? Are you putting
Put my fucking dick in her?
Are you sweating
no.
on her? Are you sweating on her?
I put my dick in one person for like 3 years.
Don't tell me Phoebe.
What about Phoebe?
I don't know. You're fucking your dog. That's my joke. That's hilarious.
Well, that was hilarious.
Gary,
That's
what
why
are
we
you
all
talking
laugh.
about? I'm sorry. This guy's getting us off the rails.
Well,
Where's fucking Powell when you need him to be a producer?
yeah, I guess. Yeah, let's.
Have you
anyway.
guys seen China has a new porn tape?
I was at the
Who
bars.
was that? Was that Powell?
That was my pal.
It's a good pal.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
You're a goddamn pal. Pal's tough to do.
My pal's pretty much me. by
Pal's
the
got
way.
a unique voice. How do you do it?
All right. I mean, let me try this. Milk chocolate.
What the fuck?
I just saw milk chocolate over there. That's why I said that. Is that good?
Well, that's Pal.
Pretty good. Yeah, not bad.
All right. No, but what was whose point though?
Green Dog was talking about something.
I don't know.
Asians,
got
I think.
off no, we can get on Asians because I just got off one the other night.
Hey!
Man,
But
I've never been on an Asian.
I was talking about having to fake an orgasm.
Oh yes, faking orgasms. Continue.
It was like I said, a glorious night for old Heavy T.
Heavy T. That's how we got here.
years ago,
Yes.
yeah. And
Good for her.
I had been drinking profusely that night. Yeah, I mean,
It's hard to believe.
Quite the whiskey dick. And I take her home after the bars close at about. We get to my place at about 4 a.m. It was actually the day before the famed Circus City parade here in town.
Largest parade in Indiana.
Yes, obviously. And I plan on getting up and having a few with another buddy at about 7 in the morning.
You have other friends besides me and JD?
Surprisingly,
You son of a bitch! There's the door. I'm pointing at it. Get the fuck out of it.
So we get back to my place,
Whatever.
have a few casuals, and one thing leads to
Was that
another.
hand jobs?
Yeah. And me and her start romping around.
What is romping? Hold on. Let's stop you. What exactly is a romping around?
When I imagine romping, I imagine being in a giant bed playing grab ass in your underwear.
That's
close
to that. It's a lot of dry humping. This
is advanced romping.
Yes, it's a lot of.
This is for the beginners out there.
It's a lot of.
A lot of fucking raw dicks after this one.
I mean, and
you don't fucking fuck your dick up. You fucking do that shit too much.
As an advocate for kids, I will say,
Flatten
go with
dick.
the dry humping.
As an advocate for kids.
If you want to do something, do the dry humping. It's a safe way to have some fun.
Allegedly.
But anyhow, so I put the P in the V, and we're going.
He means penis and vagina.
Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
And we're
It
going.
was a fucking tool in her vag.
We're going at it. Next thing I know, I know that we've been going at it for a while.
How long's a while?
I'm talking 2.5 hours.
Oh boy, that's a long time.
There's a good 2 commercial breaks going on.
I look and see that my buddy's getting ready to come pick me up, and I don't want him to see her in my house because it's heavy tea. So
heavy tea is
No
heavy
respect
stands
for heavy
for a
tea.
reason.
So
I don't think heavy tea was as heavy as everyone fucking teased her off to be.
she's a chili cheeseburger.
Oh,
Well, we'll get to that later.
let
Yes.
her
So
drizzle my face.
So I see it's 6:50, and I know my buddy's coming at 7, so I'm like, I got to get this bitch out of here,
Absolutely.
Fucking bitch.
So
That's all women are good for.
I mean,
is to
obviously-
fuck.
Out of here.
the plan all night was for me to pull out. So
That was the whole birth control we had that
Right,
evening.
yeah. So she's riding me like a show pony, and
How do show ponies ride things? Are you on the right room? of
very
show pony?
carefully. That's why
Around
they
in
get,
a circle
that's why
and
they get-
lazily looking around,
That's why they get awards for it.
stopping every few feet.
But I'm like, oh my God, get off of me right now, and then I turn
You
into
were- would
the
you
swear to
say
God, I turn into the corner and act like I'm finishing myself.
Oh,
off.
this is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean, I gave an award-winning performance.
This is who you faked an orgasm with.
Yes. So I'm telling her, ushering her out of the house, and just as I am, my buddy walks up to pick me up. So I didn't even get her out. He sees the whole thing. But I went to the well the next night too. I had her number. I texted her the next night. I mean, I just got a blowjob,
yeah.
but
I wouldn't have even been ashamed of walking around.
First
with
off,
tea.
couple of things that came out of that conversation. This went on for 2.5 hours. So you're telling me you're just plowing for 2.5 hours, and then all of a sudden, I'm gonna jizz everywhere.
Kirk, I'm a gentle lover. let's get that out there first.
Takes his time.
And yeah, so
Let's
I was
get
not.
that out
I
there.
was not plowing. I mean,
You're slowly
there were-
massaging.
there was points where I started plowing, and I'd almost get there. I mean, a lot of this time was her just trying to re-get the erection that I had just lost. I mean, there was
One
a
of
lot
those
of
old gags.
Yeah, there was a lot of. Oh, it's in right now.
Oh, it feels so good, baby.
Yeah, I give her about 5 pumps,
Yeah.
and then I go soft again.
So she had a great time for those
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
And then she's got to suck it and put her thumb in my butt again. I mean, that's a lot of what was going on.
A lot of thumbs and asses that night.
That's the package she chose.
I wasn't in cider for 2.5 hours. I mean, let's get that straight.
Yeah, he wasn't just, as you would say, plowing her dumb cunt.
Right. I mean,
I would say that. Thank you for
like I said,
seeing it well.
I'm a gentleman. When we get back to the house, I'll throw a movie on and dry hump for 50 to 55 minutes.
I'll put the time in.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, second point of that story. I apologize if you had a point whatsoever. But the chili cheese dog, let's hear what that's all about.
Well, it's chili cheeseburger. And I think
excuse me.
And I coined this phrase, so anybody that's trying to steal it from me.
Trademark it.
But we all know
What
women
is
like
today?
this, too.
April 4th, 2015.
I think it's the 6th now.
Is it? Oh, well, you can go
Maybe,
fuck yourself.
But we
April
can be on the
6th.
4th. The PTPers don't know what the date is.
They're totally
Right.
know what's going on in life in general.
But we all know these women that when you see them out, they look great. I mean, you want to get them in the sack, and it's like seeing a chili cheeseburger on the menu at Hardee's. I mean, it looks great on that menu, but when you buy it and get it, I mean, you open up the package, and shit's flopping out everywhere. Now it's just a gigantic mess. You can't finish it. I mean, it's just terrible, and that's what she was. She was a chili cheeseburger.
That's bit number 3.
She's a lot larger
By
of a woman
Jacob
than
Green.
she looks like. And I apologize to you, Heavy T, if you ever hear this. I love you like a...
Are you serious?
You don't love her at all.
Hey,
I love you.
Heavy
I love
T.
you like a third wife. But
see, I don't think Heavy
I
T looks
kinda
bad
love
at
you.
all right now.
Well, no.
To this day, like right now, I'd be like, hey,
But what do you-
well,
what's
listeners, we're describing a 6'1", 205-pound woman.
I mean, she might whoop my ass. But have you seen these?
I want her to. I'd let her
And-
cannonball on my face.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, this is a 6'1". Realistically, I'd say about 185-pound woman.
She's lighter than that. I'd
No,
say,
no, she's
no?
not. No, she's
She
definitely not.
150.
And when I first put it in her, when we get,
because she
when we
doesn't.
get
She's
in
not like a
bed,
fat chick.
she
she's
is
not a big fat
150
chick
at all.
No, not
I know
150.
I've been.
She
with
looks
150
pretty good to me.
I'm
She's just
feeling
a
it
little
out.
This
tall.
is not.
This is but feel way
guess.
in.
Believe me.
But still, I'm kind of. I'd be into that.
But
Fuck yeah.
she
Why are
says
you
to-
touching yourself when you're talking to me?
When I first insert in her, she says to me, and this is a
Good
direct
night.
quote:
Yes, let's hear it.
Shit out of my pocket.
"I'm flexible like a gymnast. Put me in any position you want."
What did you say? What was your reaction to that?
I turned her over and just started railing.
You just are you familiar with missionary?
Are you?
No, I didn't want to look at her face, so I flopped her over on the bed and fucking.
I don't want to have anything slightly intimate. I want to just rail for 2.5 hours and then fake an orgasm.
By the way, this is all
Flop
Blake
your
Metzner.
dumbass
This is
over.
all Blake Metzner's fault for not inviting me to his wedding.
I was there that night. Yes,
this
I
is
remember this.
This is Blake Metzner's wedding night.
Well, I was still there at the Coolies. And
Right, yeah.
And you probably would have still been there with me. So there's really no Blake Metzner's
Right,
fault.
but I
in this.
definitely would have went home with one of the bridesmaids. or
Well, that's
something. I
true.
mean,
You totally would have fucked.
hello, ladies.
That's
A little Valvina.
that's D-Lo Brown by Jacob Green. Well,
must be the real dude now.
no one can hear you because your goddamn microphone is way over here.
It's supposed to be over here. If I was way up here, it'd sound like shit. It's back here for the.
Well, I have you turned way up, and I can't hear what you're saying. I mean, like literally, you're the highest thing ever.
Danger, I can get you some time with Heavy T if you want.
I can work it out for you.
Yeah,
No one-on-one with Heavy T.
yeah, a little one-on-one time with.
It
old
sounds like
Heavy T.
it ended very well with Green Dog over here.
No, like I said, I mean, I hate to admit this, but I went to that well 2 other times afterwards. I'm a weak man when I'm drinking, and I've seen her out a couple times, drunk as hell, and
Is she that bad?
she's not.
There's
No,
no
she's
way
a
she's that bad.
she's a great person.
She looks pretty decent. She looks pretty decent.
But I
and-
will say the 2 times after that, I just got blowjobs, which is acceptable.
You didn't fuck her?
No.
You got to remember, this is a green right here.
I've never had
Their
sex.
standards are God's balls. That's how high they are. They're touching God's balls.
See, technically, I've never had sex with her because
Well, you totally banged her for 2.5 hours.
No, for me, sex isn't complete. Sex is not started or completed until semen comes out of my penis.
That's when it's both began
Yes,
and ended.
ended. Yes.
So pretty much, okay.
Well, sex was good tonight.
So
Sex was
I'm a
good.
virgin. Is what I'm telling you guys.
Except for that one time I had a child somehow, but not coming.
No, I can tell you the story about that. Yeah.
Let's
I
get
was
to that.
jerked off when I was passed out, and then she inserted it in herself.
No, that's not what happened.
That's true. Yeah.
Listen, I'm no scientist, but I've been trying to get a baby inside of my wife for several months, and I mean, I blow it. What? Listen, I'm trying to tell about me banging my wife here. I don't know what that means. You're telling me this chick jerked you off,
Yes.
took her hands and just put 2 fingers in her like semen of yours.
You're saying
Well-
that's how it all happened.
Yes. When I was passed out, when I woke up, she was ferociously banging herself with my semen.
Nah,
Yes.
that is
what I'm
not
telling you.
true.
That's true. That's
you are
true.
a lying bat. Let's pull her in. I would hear her thoughts.
Then we gotta Judge Judy this shit.
We can't pull
We need
in
both
that heavy.
parties.
See, you guys don't have enough money to bring her in. I can tell you that right
I
now.
got like $10 on it. I get done.
No. No, it would not.
We could just do an impression.
Were you talking to your fucking microphone?
No, it's not supposed to be recorded.
What am I? What am I saying? What am I supposed to do?
You're gonna be.
Okay.
And then you're gonna answer questions.
All right. I'll be her. What's your questions?
I don't.
All right, Jake. There you go. Do it. There's your big bit you wanted.
Yeah.
There's your big bit you wanted.
He totally asked.
All fucking week. Hey guys, can I get a bit?
That's
hey,
not the bit I
hey, I
wanted.
know I'm gonna be on the show this week. Can I get a bit? You guys got a bit for me?
I play the role of Green Dog's mother of his child, and Green Dog's gonna quiz me in the questions.
About what?
I don't know. It's your goddamn bit.
It's your fucking big bit you wanted.
This is not the bit I wanted. We've
Finally
already,
doing it.
we've
No.
already went too far on my.
We went too far with the whole thing.
My
already.
sexual, yeah. Why did you ruin my life? I guess that would be my first question.
Answer to that.
Kirk, your response?
I banged myself with Jacob Green's semen, thinking of getting myself knocked up.
That's apparently true.
There it is. That was
There
on
it
air,
is.
an on-air confession. Our first on-air confessional.
Yeah.
On the PTP.
This girl has no name. All right, we'll be right back.
I can do 2 things at once.
Welcome back, Pull the Tides podcasters. What? I am Matthew Tornado. To my right is Johnny Danger. We form the tag team duo of Thunder and Lightning. We are the greatest tag team to ever grace the squared circle ever. To my direct left is the greatest single wrestler of all time, is Jacob Nathaniel Green. He goes by J&G. We like to call him the Green Dog.
Literally, no one calls me J and G. Hey, we can. We
Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Yeah. I
What do
feel
you want
like
your entrance theme song
I
to
feel
be?
like Crush today.
What are you, Bird Demolition?
Yeah, the outside
No.
guy in Demolition.
I don't quite fit in, but I'm going to be Crush. Your goddamn dog is losing its shit. We are watching Halloween Havoc 1996, I believe.
I think it's the first time we told everybody.
Luger is fighting Arn Anderson right now. I'm sure you guys know this because you have synced it up the entire podcast long. We're having a good time tonight. It is Easter Sunday. We have watched the kickoff of the MLB, the Cubs got cheated tonight, obviously, because they would never lose a game if they did
They
not
didn't
get
have
cheated.
JD Mock pitching for him.
JD Mock is on the mound for the Indianapolis Indians. Watch out.
AAA for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
He knows. He knows. We have been discussing professional wrestling and all things single bachelor pad men. And I got to tell you, fellas, I'm a married man, but I kind of miss the chase. I love my wife to death. I would never cheat on her, ever. But the chase is real. The chase is real, and it's kind of enjoyable sometimes.
I've retired from the chase.
Myself.
How have you retired?
I just kind of sit around and drink now.
Yeah.
I don't really chase
I've never
anything.
been
Yeah,
involved in the chase whatsoever.
I got involved in it there for a short period of time, but now I don't bother myself with it.
I've always just walked around hoping some hood rat scoop me up,
Scoot you up.
which is what generally happened.
Well, when you go around a
I wouldn't
woman,
say they were hood rats though.
when you go around and ask a woman to scoot you up, I'm sure that doesn't get you fucking laid.
No, I don't do anything. I just stand there and look at them like, hi. And then they're like, oh, well, you're cute. What's your name? And they start, and then it begins.
Yeah,
It's as
I pretty
simple as
much
that. It's
just
very
yeah.
easy.
I mean,
I'm a very easy get.
when the people I've been with just had nothing better going for them.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and I just kind of fell into it.
I think they were having
Yeah.
an off day when
Yeah,
they got
they're
with
like,
me.
yeah. I always see this guy sitting at the bar. He seems like he wouldn't kill me.
You seem like not a murderer.
It's a Wednesday.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Those are the best days to find them, Wednesdays and Thursdays. Those are my favorite drinking days.
As we get older, it's more
I mean,
difficult.
my top 5 drinking days.
Out of 7, it's probably top 6. I don't know. But as we get older, it's tougher. Is that what I was trying to say?
I think so.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Why don't you go fuck yourself,
Where's
JD?
my wood pipe?
How about you do that?
Is it over there?
Yeah, it's totally over here.
I don't know that it has anything to do with age with me. I've just gotten lazy with it. I don't want to put forth the effort
Right, but
that
what
it takes.
But when we were, we're 30, 32, 30. How old are you? 33.
I cannot. I'm 23, but I can't
You
let
look-
people know my age on air.
You
No,
look.
he's 32, about to be 33.
No, you're 32.
I'm
No, I'm
30.
31.
I'm 31.
I'm
And he's-
33. I'm
you're 33
33
right
years
now?
of
In
age.
December.
yes.
Yeah,
When did
December.
you turn 33?
Right at the beginning of the year.
Ah, okay.
Just turned.
Times were a lot simpler 10 years ago.
Not for me.
We were just talking about a few podcasts ago when we first met, basically, when we were all playing poker or doing whatever, playing euchre, drinking at your guys' place. It's like 07. And that seems like a fucking blink away. But no, it was a totally different time.
That
now.
was 8 years ago.
That was 8 years ago.
I was,
No
what,
one gave a fuck
23?
about anything.
Oh, no, fuck no. We
We
were.
were just there boozing.
I was driving my
I ain't got
truck.
fucking shit going. I mean, we had kids and we did our shit.
I
but-
didn't have kids. I still don't have kids.
Yeah.
I have no responsibilities.
We would do our shit and then show up and then just be ridiculous.
I remember driving up the hill, Broadway Hill, vomiting out the side of the window. This is a very vivid memory of me from Thursdays. This kind of stamps Thursday nights for me. We would go out every fucking night. I was 21 to
23
to
probably.
24 probably.
Yeah.
When I actually left my Thursday night days behind me. But we would go out every fucking Thursday, man. I remember I left my girlfriend's house. She was a cunt bit. I hated her. I leave her house like at 8:39. I'd be like, all right, I'm tired. I need to go home. What I would really do is I had my own lawn care business at the time too. I'd drive my truck, my trailer on the back of it to Green Dog's house. Drink till fucking 5 in the morning. We'd probably end up at a bunker or some random bar we should not be at, at 5 in the morning. Meet up back at his house after drinking all night, possibly picking up a random horse. Who knows what we got going on. Drinking plethora of liquor. And then, oh, by the way, Green Dog, jump in the truck. We got to go mow 14 yards this morning.
so we can make our money to go buy more booze the next day. Every Thursday night, I was 21 or 23 years old.
What the fuck were you charging for a mow?
If you
You
take
had to mow
out
14 yards the next
if
day.
you take out the
Good
Gas to pay.
God.
if you take out the mowing and the whores, I'm pretty much still doing the same thing right now.
Well, one horse struck my heart. She took me home.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know how I make money.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Just keeps coming in, and I don't know why.
But
or
business
how.
is booming.
Yeah, yes, it's gonna kill me eventually, but I'm having a good time.
It's funny because you're gonna die.
That is hilarious.
You guys can podcast for my funeral,
I would never do that.
but those were good days.
Those were
But
great
that's
days.
the thing.
They did not
Nowadays-
seem that long ago.
Those
Holy
were. I was
shit.
much younger and wilder back then. Nowadays, I don't have the effort. Like I said, I just sit there.
Wait for it to come to you, but that was still.
And even when it does, I just laugh it away. I love the ladies. You know where to find me.
I know where to find them.
But most chicks are so stupid that I
That's a
can't
fact.
even. When I'm trying to have a conversation with them, I can't get to the point where I would sleep with them because I'm thinking,
Because they're
this
too
chick's
busy.
so dumb. I would rather just be sitting here drinking and not listening to her horse shit.
No,
You know?
yeah. They're too busy talking about doing their nails and, going shopping and dressing up.
Right.
Doing other
Cats,
girl things.
Whatever.
Cats. Okay.
Most chicks that I run into now are cat women.
At your age, I understand that.
Yeah, they're 40-year-old
joking.
chicks that never had. They're wanting me to sleep with their cats. That's the whole problem.
Your bestiality?
Yeah, or maybe they're talking about something else when they say for me to rub their pussy.
I don't know
Man, I think I
You
missed
see what he
out
did
on a
there.
few things there. Yeah.
By pussy, he meant cats. You're better than that, Green Dog. Well,
Sadly, I'm not, ladies.
no,
Yeah,
you're
not by
really.
much.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real fine line. Well, I appreciate everyone tuning in this evening to listen to our dual podcast. There might be another podcast listed tonight. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I am Matthew Tornado.
I'm Johnny D.
And who are you?
The Green Dog. That was a double header in remembrance of Ernie Banks too, right?
That
there.
was.
There
We'll
we
catch you
go.
next week, though.
Part two.
Cheers.